Today we're very lucky to have Dr. Mark Slavens, the turf expert from Scott's, here to talk to us about lawn care. And we've been talking a lot about lawn care over the past few weeks, but with summer coming up, we're talking about water conservation, and there's some simple things that people can do to make a difference.
Yeah, Keith. So actually, let's talk about some myth busting.
Oh, I was hoping, do you have a couple that you'd like to do for right now?
Yeah, we do. And so a common thing that people think is when we're getting our lawn ready for the summertime, what should we be doing to make sure that it's in good shape and it can withstand the hot temperatures that are going to come around June, July. And one thing people think is that if I feed my lawn or I fertilize my lawn, I'm going to have to water more.
Okay.
And it's actually the opposite.
Are you listening to this?
It's pretty strange, but if you feed your lawn gets deep roots, it grows dense, and it outcompetes weeds, and it shades the soil so you get less evaporation.
Stays cooler.
Stays cooler, and so you use less water. It uses water more efficiently. And so it's a great tip. Feed your lawn, get it healthy, get it strong and vibrant, and you'll be able to take care of it even easier.
And keep feeding the lawn right through the summer months. A starved lawn is a stressed lawn. You're already going to be stressing a little bit with the heat and the lack of moisture. So let's keep it as healthy as possible, keep the diseases out, keep the insects out and the weeds, like you said.
That's right.
And save water doing it.
That's
now,
right.
what's another one that you like?
So another one, and I see this all the time, is that I have to water every day to keep my lawn okay in the summer when it starts to get hot. And actually that encourages really shallow roots. You never want to water every day. You know, at most you can get away with watering twice a week and your lawn will still do great as long as you do it right.
And doing it right means knowing how much water you're putting down every time you water.
If we put down the right amount of water so that it gets down deep to the roots, you know, down to that 4-6 inches deep in the soil, your roots will grow looking after it and they'll really thrive. Your grass will look great.
So what's a good way to determine how deep that water's going?
So you can actually take a garden shovel and after you've watered, dig down and see how far your water will get after running your irrigation system for a few minutes. It usually takes quite a while. So a sandier soil, water will get down deep faster. A clay soil, it might take a little bit longer because it moves slower through the soil.
Now, if you see on your clay soils where the water is starting to run off onto the sidewalk or into the driveway and not soaking in, the best thing you can do then is to stop your sprinkler, whether it's a system or whether you're a hose dragger, and cycle through some other areas. Let that first area soak in a little bit and then come back and finish watering that first area and cycle through your whole yard that way. And that way you won't have water being wasted out into the street. Now, here in this lawn that we're standing in right now, you can see sun over here and shade over there. They certainly don't need to be watered the same.
That's right. The shadier areas are cooler. They don't use as much water. So water a little bit less there. The sunnier areas or areas with slopes, you got to be a little bit more careful. You might have to water a little bit more often, especially if you have a south-facing slope, because that's going to dry out even more than a north-facing slope.
Now, when you say water less or water more, you're talking about less frequency.
Yes, less frequency and less total amount, too. In the
Okay.
shade, it's going to use less total water as well.
And to determine how much your yard is using, you can go to the Denver Water Department website, but you can find where they have their total ET for the week previous. Choose the weather station that's closest to your house. Look and see. A good example would be if we lost an inch last week and you're watering twice a week, then each time you water, you put down half an inch to replace that inch you lost.
That's right.
But you can't tell what an inch of water is if you just water for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. How do you know how much water you've put down?
That's right. So there's some simple tips that you'll talk about to catch water in a can, to actually measure how much your sprinklers are putting out. That way you know how much time it takes to put a half an inch down.
Mark, I really wanted to thank you for coming out here and sharing some of your information with our viewers.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.